What's up and welcome back to the Gridiron with Chance Aspen. Subscribe down below, like this video, comment. Now, enjoy this video. Alright, welcome back to week 11 of my 5 NFL thoughts. If you don't know by now, I give you my 5 NFL thoughts every single week, and this is week number 11. Let's get into it. Thought number 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a different feel this year, don't they? It just feels different in Pittsburgh. Because in previous years, they made the playoffs and they've had success. But recently, it has not felt like this. It has not felt like they can win in a lot of different ways. Normally, Pittsburgh Steelers football is play great defense and hopefully the offense just does a little bit. But this year, they seem like they can win not only with their defense, because we know they can win with their defense. Their defense is one of the best in the NFL. They probably have the best defensive player in the NFL in TJ Watt. They got great players all over the field on defense. But now, with bringing in Russell Wilson and starting him over Justin Fields, this offense now can do things that they were unable to do in previous seasons, especially the last couple of years. Like, this offense can now go out and score 28 points against Washington, right? They can score 30. They can move the ball effectively. They can hit big plays down the field. Stuff they could not do in previous years. And that's why they struggled to win in the playoffs, because they had to win one way, and that was with defense. I know they only beat the Ravens 18-16, but that game was, the Steelers could have scored a ton more points. They just stalled in the red zone. Russell Wilson threw an interception in the end zone, right? But they're moving the ball, things that they were unable to do in previous years. So I just think the Steelers team feels different because they can win in different ways. It's not all on the defense. Obviously, always in Pittsburgh, they're going to be led by their defense. We all know that. But you need an offense to win, and I think this is the first year in quite some time that I think the Steelers actually have an offense. No, I'm not saying they're going to go win the Super Bowl or they're going to go beat the Chiefs or the Bills. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is this is a different team than what it's been in past years. Thought number 2. Even though the Chicago Bears lost, Caleb Williams showed a lot of improvement from the previous weeks. Now, I know it's hard to say that because they lost again, but it wasn't his fault. The blocked field goal, you can't control that. You led the team down. You put your team in a position to win, and they didn't come through for you. That happens sometimes in the NFL. But I just thought he looked a lot more comfortable. He played within the offense a lot better. He didn't hold on to the ball. His release was quicker. It felt like he was processing quicker, right? He showed why they did take him number 1 overall, which in the previous weeks, he didn't even show any reason why they took him number 1 overall. And this week, he showed why they took him that high. I thought his processing was at an elite level, right? I thought he played within the structure of the offense. That's something else. Everybody loves his magic, and it's great. It's very Mahomes-like. Everybody loves it. But I think that's got to be secondary for him. He's got to learn to play within the pocket, learn to play in the system, right? And then if you want to do the magic stuff on top of that, then you can do that. But let's learn to play within the offense and in the structure of the offense before we start doing all this crazy magic stuff, right? And I thought he did that against the Packers. I was really impressed. He processed quickly, went through his reads, and if the read wasn't there, he just took off and ran. He wasn't looking to hold on to the ball and scramble around and go for the deep ball all the time. He was like, boom, 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 nothing's there. All right, let me take off and run. And I thought it showed maturity in his game. I thought it showed that Caleb Williams can learn from some of his mistakes and he can adapt quickly. And I thought he was very impressive, even though they didn't win. Thought number 3. Can this year be different for the Buffalo Bills? Now, the only reason why I say that is we've seen them beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Like, this is nothing new. They've beaten the Chiefs in the regular season before. I don't know why everybody's going nuts over a regular season win. Like, what it comes down to is can the Chiefs or can the Bills beat the Chiefs when it matters most in the playoffs, when the pressure is the highest? Can they beat the Chiefs in the big moments? That, they haven't proven that they can do that. But I think this year might be different. One, I think their defense is a lot better. I think their defense is playing at a lot higher level. And I think their offense has a different feel because they can run the ball. It's not all on Josh Allen. Obviously, big moment, you're giving the ball to Josh. But not everything right now for the Bills is Josh be the hero. They can run the ball. They can get it out to their quick game to Shakir and those speedy receivers, right? Amari Cooper can win on the outside one-on-one. They got a really good offensive line. They got a great play caller in Joe Brady. So they're not asking Josh to be this hero anymore, which I think is important. And I think that's what allows the Bills to actually this year be different for the Bills because it's not all on Josh Allen. They're not asking Josh to be Superman all the time. They only need him to be Superman sometimes. And that's important, right? Mahomes doesn't need to be Superman all the time. He just needs to be Superman sometimes. And I think now the Bills are finally at that point where they're asking Josh Allen only to be Superman sometimes. And their defense is really good. Like, I do believe this year, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think this year could be different for the Buffalo Bills. Thought number 4. The Bengals are the best 4-7 team I think I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't think I've seen a 4-7 team that good, especially on offense. Like, their offense is one of the best in the league. They got a wide receiver that's probably going to win the Triple Crown. He leads the NFL right now in receptions, touchdowns, and receiving yards. They got a quarterback right now that leads the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, quarterback rating. But they're 4-7. But, like, when you ask yourself, what team would you rather see in the playoffs? The Denver Broncos or the Bengals? Everybody rather see the Bengals, except for the teams that are the 2 seed and the 3 seed, obviously. But if you're a fan of football, you want to see this team in the playoffs because they got stars and they got difference makers on the football field. They got difference makers on their team, which most teams don't have that level of difference maker, right? In Jamar Chase or in Joe Burrow or in T. Higgins or in Trey Hendrickson. Most teams don't have that, and the Bengals do. And every time I watch them, they are playing in close game after close game after close game. It's not like these teams are blowing them out, right? They've played the Ravens close twice. I've seen the Ravens blow out a lot of teams this year and it not be competitive. And twice this year, the Bengals game against the Ravens, both times has gone down to the wire. And sometimes that just happens. But when I watch them, I'm like, they are an elite team. Their defense isn't elite, but their defense, I think, can be average. But their offense is elite. And their offense, if they got in the playoffs, would scare a lot of people. It's just a matter, can they get there now? My 5th and final thought here in Week 11, here it is. Thought number 5. The Chargers showed a lot of culture in their win over the Bengals. Now, what I mean by culture, the Chargers were up 27-6. They were in complete control of that football game. It didn't look like there was a chance in hell the Bengals were even going to get back into that game. But what happened? The Chargers started to charger what they've done in past years. They started to turn the ball over, not make enough plays. Their defense starts giving up big plays. And all of a sudden, the team starts coming back and they tie it. 10 times out of 10 in previous years, the Chargers lose that game. But I think Jim Harbaugh has brought a sense of belief, a sense of confidence to this football team. Specifically to Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert feels like he's walking around with a different type of swagger, right? More confidence, more belief in his abilities. He just looks like, yeah, I know I'm the man. That is a credit to Jim Harbaugh because he's given that team and that quarterback specifically belief that, yeah, we can be great. Yeah, we've struggled in past years. This team has not been good in past years. But I believe in you guys. And we're going to get this figured out quickly. And I just thought last night showed that things are different with the Chargers now that Jim Harbaugh is there. But that's my NFL thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and have an awesome day.